All right, pretty excited. Ren Porcio here with Chad Feeney, and longtime top velocity subject who, became a 90-plus testimonial, and it's a really cool story how he got there. But I'll tell you, it wasn't easy, was it, Chad?
No.
Yeah, we did a lot of work. He did a lot of work, and over a few years, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I started December 16.
Yeah. So talk about when you first came in here, like what led you here, and talk about like why'd you want to come all the way down to Louisiana?
I guess I found your program probably like 6 to 7 months before I actually came down, and this was when I was like halfway through my senior season in high school, and I was just kind of, because my junior year I was getting offers from like Dallas Baptist, because I was sitting like 86 to 88, and my senior year I was only getting like 83 tops, and so I was kind of like freaking out, like, oh, I'm not getting any offers. And I started just kind of YouTubing and found like some hip to shoulder separation videos, and just kind of kept going from there, and it started slowly to come up.
So you're saying officially the need for velocity was what? Yeah. So what was your velocity when you wanted to do the programs? Like where were you sitting at that point? I just want to know a starting point.
When I actually got to there.
No, when you started the program. When you started. Yeah.
I was, I think, 81.
Okay. So you were like low 80s at that point, and
yeah,
that's why you searched it out. Because if you were still 88, you probably wouldn't have done that, right?
Probably not. Yeah.
Right.
No.
All right. So go from there. So you searched it out, and then you did the program at home.
Yeah. So I tried doing it at home, and I was doing everything way wrong. Like I had no clue what I was doing. I finished out my my season at Concordia. I didn't play, but finished that out, and then that's when I decided, like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to come down there and get some help. I've seen a little bit of improvement on my own, but just from the strength, but not a whole lot. Probably like a 2 to 3 mile an hour jump, just like that. But
so talk about when you came down to the camp. What was that experience like in the first camp? Can you remember?
Whew, man, it was hot. I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah,
no,
yeah.
It was
a summer camp, I guess.
Yeah, it was in July, mid-July. It was hot. It was definitely like, because I've always kind of grown up, on the traditional mindset, like, pitchers don't need a lift. Just do your arm care stuff. You throw and be good. So I've never lifted before. I started a little bit before I got there, but I didn't know really what I was doing. I will say it is very intense. Like it was just a whole new ball game, literally.
Yeah, that's probably a good way of putting it. So you, after that first camp, were you excited about it, or what was your perspective going forward after the camp?
Yeah, I was definitely excited for it. I was excited for the long term. The short term was horrible.
Right.
But no, yeah, I was very excited because I was learning a lot of information. I knew I had an end game goal, and and I knew it was going to take time.
What was that goal?
Play baseball again, and be up there and competing at like the upper level.
But was it 90 plus or?
Yeah, well, initially it was just like you just throw 85, but as I started getting closer and closer to that, it's like no, I can do this.
Cool.
And it went to 90, and then now it's sitting 90 is my goal.
Good. So, what made you want to stay and live and train?
Definitely just the love of the game. I'm obsessed with it, but also I love the atmosphere down there. It's always, since I've been there, it's always been a bunch of great group of guys that just get in there and get after it. I like working out, so it's good. Sometimes I do. But
well, good. So you stayed for a while. How many? When you came, you would come and go. How many months total were you here?
So the first, when I went to the camp, I think I stayed for 2 to 3 weeks, and then I left for a few months. When I came back, I think I was there for 3 or 4, and then this last day, I was there for like 8 or 9 months straight. So it was, it was a while.
That Gary just walked by. He was saying,
"Dad, what
up?" Gary, looking swole.
I know. Well, good. Well, yeah, you put in the work. So, and we tell them about the ultimate moment. There was a great moment in the facility. Tell them about the great moment in the facility.
Which the one where I started yelling.
Yeah, tell them about that moment.
Yeah,
because Patrick's in here right now. Wasn't Patrick there?
Yeah, he was the one that told me to start yelling.
He's in here right now.
Yeah. No, so I was just kind of just getting in, doing I was really sore and beat down. I was like, I'm just going to keep it light today. And I was sitting on flat grounds like 82, 83 at the time. And then Pat comes in, he's like, why don't you just give it one good yell one time? I'm like, all right, I'll give it one. I was like, ah! And I think it was like 85. I was like, what the heck? Like, what's going on here? He's like, no. He's like, don't give me a girl yell. He's like, give me a man yell. I was like, ah! It was like 86. Did it again, 87. And then now there's like a bunch of guys are starting to watch. And then I just come in like, ah! I hit 90. Everyone was like, what is going on? And then the last one is wham, and just 95 pops up. And I'm just like losing my mind right now. It was crazy.
Yeah, how do you go from 81 to 95?
It was crazy.
Because to be honest, I didn't believe it. I was like, you're full of crap. But that was a pivotal moment, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. I was honestly like, it is kind of, at times, it gets very depressing down there, like, because you like not seeing progress because you always beat down. And when I seen that, I was like, wow, like, this is awesome. Like, this feels great.
Well, I mean, I think it played into you. You played into your personality because you're a very laid back, low key kind of guy. So that was a good moment for you because it kind of allowed you to tap into a lot of things you were building and working on, and you kind of put it. I mean, all the intensities that we put in the weight room, you put it into your throws, and you had really good biomechanics. I mean, you have some of the most popular videos on Instagram, remember, of you doing all your drive drills and your plyometric, drills where you drop off the box jump and drive. Like, so you train very dynamically and you do it really well, but then you're so low key and you'd get in your throws and you'd be too laid back. You wouldn't bring that intensity into it. And I think that day helped you understand how far you were playing your intensities back, like how far you were pulling them back.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Since then, I can tell, like, even since I've come home and I played a little mini season, like, my intensity has been on a whole nother level, completely.
Yeah. Which was cool. So talk about when you got into, was it fall season or summer season? The summer season that you did really well, right?
Yeah. So after I left, it was, I think, like a few weeks after that, I started ramping up to kind of get ready. It was like a little 6 to 8 week little season, and I think I had the written down. I think my velocity the first game, because then I was just coming in and kind of just close, and then they were short a guy, and I was like, yeah, I'll start. And I was kind of like 84 to 86, I think, the first game. I did pretty well. I pitched 2 or 3 innings, I think, 3 or 4. It was all right, and then I just seen it at like each game, it was like either getting consistently higher or going up a knock or two. And actually, my last game that I pitched was the one I finally hit 90. Like, I was like, oh, it's official.
Wow.
And then that inning too, actually, was like, I think it was one off from an immaculate inning too. It was like, I think I threw 8 straight, 1 ball, and then struck the guy out.
Wow.
So it was cool.
So it was cool. That was a great moment because that's where you actually saw it in game, on the mound, right, out of training, which is what we work for. So that's awesome. And that's been the highest you've been since, is 90?
Yeah, so after that, it kind of started to slow back down, and now I'm just starting to throw again.
Build up.
Past week and a half, I just started throwing, building back up.
So let's start talking about, like, some of the things that you went through, like I think the biggest challenge you have is you're the smaller guy. So like, tell them how tall you are, how much do you weigh right now?
Yeah, so I'm 5'7", and actually when I started I was 140, so I was a twig, and now I'm like 175.
That's huge. Yeah. And that had a lot. How well do you think the body weight helped you?
Oh, it was big. At first I kind of did it wrong because my eating was not good, so I was putting on bad weight, which it helped in ways, but I was like to the one point where I was like struggling moving it, and then once I started, like, because I kind of neglected the flyos and sprints more than I should have, and then I started picking that back up, and then I seen everything just start skyrocketing way up. So
good. And then through all that training, like, what were the things that really helped drive the weight up and then the performances up? Like, talk about the things that you developed that were really significant in your training.
I guess the main lift, power clean, that was by far the best one that helped me easily, hands down. Power clean. Squats were big too, and I would, sprints and jumps were obvious. Anything, because that was my problem. Was just
why did you feel the power clean worked so
well? I was slow. I think I came in with like a 22-inch jump at camp. Like I just couldn't move I could move my body, but I just couldn't move it quickly. Like I was good with the momentum part, but
what did you get
once
your
I could start throwing
eventually?
I think it was 28. I haven't tested it in like 3 weeks, but it was right around 28, 29.
Okay, cool. And then and you saw it across the board. Like, you saw your 10 yards get better, everything pretty much get better.
Yeah, everything got better.
What about anything else? What else in the training really helped as far as in enhancing everything?
I will say probably big on side lunges with weight, because I would say I had problem holding torsion, and my gluteus medius, I guess it's called, was real weak, and it just couldn't stabilize. It would just collapse, and then everything would just kind of go to crap. But that was a big one for me. I got some notes written down. Yeah, I will say too, once I was doing the program for so long, I kind of got in plateaus too. A big thing that helped me was I just kind of reverse it. What I started doing every now and then. I wouldn't do it all the time, but I'd do my plyos and sprint work like first, and then go to, unless it's power cleans, I'd do those first, because that was my big thing that helped me the most. And then I'd go lift or whatever. And I noticed my last day down there, I was kind of stuck. My power clean was like 220, 225, right around there. And I just flipped it for like the last, I think, month I was there, and then the last day I checked out, it was like around 235. So a nice little bump.
Yeah.
Actually, squat went up 10 pounds too, and it wasn't a max week or anything. It was just kind of want to see where I was at.
Good. Yeah. What about biomechanically? What was your keys in your biomechanics?
Definitely sinking down into my hips. I mean, I was way too up tall for being this short. So sinking down into my hips and trunk extension. My trunk extension was pretty bad, and that's why I'll say the med balls really helped me big time. Helped me really getting out in front,
So and then too, I think your hip to shoulder separation got like dramatically better.
It did. It was good when I first started, but when I started putting weight on, it got really bad. And then as I started working on it more and more, it got way better. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you're going to throw hard, you have to be, like you said, getting down into your hips. You have to be explosive. Mm-hmm. You have to really open up all your mobility ranges as you move to get as much leverage as you can. I mean, it's just somewhere. That's why your intensities help you so much, because it makes you work harder to get through all those positions, right?
Right. I'll also say, too, when I sink down in my hips better, my front leg will shut off, and I'm less likely to fly open. That was a bad thing I had. So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. Well, so what do you think gets you to the next level, making you more consistent in the 90s?
Just becoming a beast. Yeah, I just need to...
Well, I mean, what goals do you have right now for that? Like, performance goals?
Number-wise, I want... My power clean it was 235. It's probably not there right now, because I did take a little season. I would like to get that to by
next
maybe
season.
by maybe around 250 to 265, like in my next little go through of my if I decide to go through level 3 or hatch again, I would like to get that to around 250 to 265. You know, obviously I want to keep getting that up, you know, but that would be great if I could get there in the next
What
cycle.
about your vert? What do you want your vert to go to?
I would like to get at low 30s for sure. It's right around 28, 29, probably closer to 28 right now. I would like to get it to around like 31, 32. Also in the next go around, back squat 325. If I can get that to 335, 340, it'd be awesome.
Do you want your body weight to go up, or how do you like that?
As long as I can move it quickly, I would love for it to go up. I know I was up to 180 at one point, but I just couldn't move it, so I had I shredded a little bit of weight, but it wasn't, it was bad weight, so I don't think it was a big deal. If I could get lean muscle mass up, yeah, of course, I would love to get back up to 180.
You don't want to get as big as Derek?
He's looking good, though.
I know, the dude's swole.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, man, I think it's all good stuff. We're excited to see you progress. It was just great to see you get to 90 because you worked your butt off for it.
Sure.
And I know people can go on Instagram and see a lot of progression videos of you. You became one of our Instagram celebrities. So, so just kind of last words. Anything we missed, and kind of leave people with, how this all works, and kind of help motivate them and where they are if they're kind of in the same place trying to figure all this out.
So I'm trying to think. So yeah, I mean, yeah. Go ahead and repeat that one more time.
I was just saying. I mean, last words, man. I mean, anything that we missed that you want to share?
I mean, if you want it bad enough, don't let anyone tell you no. If you work hard enough for anything, you can get it, especially in this program alone. Like, the more work you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. And it's proven itself over and over again.
Well, you were here long enough to see those who had success. Like, how many testimonials did you watch when you were here?
Oh, so many. It frustrated me because I'd see guys in here like that one guy that just came in and hit 95, and he went to camp like a week later, and it's like, I was helping you, like,
you were ready
for that. Yeah. I mean, I was happy for him. It's like, man, it's like it makes you grind harder. Cause
it does. But you see all different walks of life. You see guys that you're like, okay, these guys are going to quit, and those are a lot of them. And then you see the guys who, wow, this is going to be easy for him. And then you see the guys like you who are like, hey, this guy might be a grinder, and he's going to be fun to be around and learn from,
Yeah, for sure. So.
Well, cool. Well, man, it was awesome. We're excited. And we expect you back down to get to 95, or consistently stay at 95, just because technically you hit 95. So
I'm hoping to come down sometime in this Christmas break, and then cool. I'll definitely be down there in the summer. So,
all right, dude. Well, best of luck. Have a great fall and get to those numbers. Keep building it up, and excited to put your banner up on the wall.
Thank you. Finally.
I know. All right, dude. Well, hold on one second.